This TSB television broadcast was made possible in part by the Kasson-Mantorville Youth Basketball Association.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for, or should I say, the game you've been waiting for. It's the big one, Stewartville and Benilde-St. Margaret's, part of the Kasson-Mantorville Girls Basketball Showcase. This will be the final game of our three-game slate. A couple of teams had to cancel, so
Starting lineups. First for Benilde-St. Margaret.
we'll see. But this is a rematch of last year's Class AAA state championship.
A freshman, number 4.
That was won by Benilde-St. Margaret's, and just like that match in March, Benilde-St. Margaret's, they'll be doing this without Kendall McGee. If you recall, Kendall suffered a terrible knee injury in the state semifinals, and she is still recovering. Basically, ACL, MCL, everything was torn up. No word yet if Kendall will return by the end of the high school season or if she'll wait until we get to AAU. But Olivia Olson is back in the lineup, and she made quite the impression, scoring 30 points in her first game back against Jordan, crossing 2,000 for her career. For Stewartville, they played a close one with Providence Academy here last week. You've got Savannah Haydeen, who's going to Jamestown University. Audrey Shindelar, averaging 17 points per game, had 29 in that match a week ago. Here are the starters for Benilde-St. Margaret's. It's Olivia Olson, Sydney Fridley, Zahara Bishop, Presley Watkins, and Kay Kapsner. Benilde-St. Margaret's hasn't lost a game since Olivia Olson returned. For Stewartville, at 9 and 5, it's Catherine Jones, Audrey Shindelar, Taylor Klement, JC Rath, and Savannah Haydeen. Tim Ellison, the head coach of Benilde-St. Margaret's. Tanner Tighe, the head coach at Stewartville. Stewartville made their first ever appearance at the state tournament last year, making it all the way to the championship where they played Benilde-St. Margaret's, and that included an upset of Becker along the way. So we are getting this one underway. Stewartville with the takeaway. And again, this is our final game. Albert Lee had to call off their match with Kasson-Mantorville. The bus couldn't get through the snow-covered roads in time. So this will be our final match of the day. But this was the big draw. Stewartville getting a couple of looks down low. JC Rath was denied, but Stewartville takes a three, and Audrey Shindelar puts it through. That was a huge help for Providence, or I should say Stewartville last week against Providence. They hit a lot of threes and were able to hang with them. Olson missing the runner. Gets the rebound and is tripped up. That is what Olivia Olson can do. She is a whiz kid that can do it all. And we've noticed since her return, the fluidity and the orchestration much more smooth than it had been. Bishop. Game starting a little later. It was set for a 4 o'clock start, but since this is the last game, no real pressure. They got the full 20 minutes. Watkins to inbound. She finds Olson. Benilde-St. Margaret's able to save it. This is Watkins. Did not play in last year's game because she was at Orno at the time. I just had a sloppy Joe. And It's trying to cause tricks with me. Shot clock winding down. Kapsner's not going to get it off in time. Stewartville in the Hiawatha Valley, they're at 9-5. Picked up a win over the home school, Casa Manorville, on Tuesday. Another 3. J.C. Rath can't put it in. Kapsner with the rebound. Bishop lost the handle and coughs it up. 16:01 left in the first half, and Stewartville with a 3-0 lead. Even though Stewartville didn't get the win against Providence, you have to think it injected some confidence, some swagger, that they can still hang with the top teams. Stewartville and Byron look like they will be engaging for that section tournament in 1-3A, that state tournament berth that comes with it. And a foul is called on Stewartville. It will go against Taylor Klement. Stewartville went 29-3 last year. Klement will play Division III at Hamlin. Hayden, as we noted before, going to Jamestown. And this was the big draw. Reason why we made the trek down here. Kapsner pulls up. Can't get the bounce. Hayden to Rath. Passes back out. Shindelar. Going high-low to a cutting Hayden, but she can't get the bounce. Bishop trying to work off the screen. Now straddles left. Watkins has it on the handoff. Fridley for 3. The southpaw can't put it through. Kapsner scrapping for another rebound. Kate making her presence felt on the boards. Bishop had 33 in the win over Hill Murray, but unable to finish the runner there. That's going to be a reach and foul on Olson. You don't want her to be in big foul trouble. That much is certain. Benilde-St. Margaret's, as we said, could hold their own. They weren't a bad team without Olson and McGee, but they struggled with some of the top teams in 3A. They just didn't have the personnel. Stewartville scores on the inbound. Savannah Hayden got herself open. So the Jamestown commit is on the board. Olson gets the offensive rebound. She's going to Michigan, as you may know. Bishop on the take, bakes it in. Bishop was part of the Fury program, now with Metro Stars. And one of those players, I would call her maybe that third option, like that was a miss for Hayden on the take. I was going to say a third option like Sierra Lumpkin was last year. And that's presuming Kendall McGee returns. Olson slips through J.C. Rath like butter and butters up her score by a couple points. That's her first field goal. And she's put up some healthy numbers since her return, including that 30 spot against Jordan last week. A special occasion for her. Stewartville's 3 is true. Taylor Klement with her first bucket. And Stewartville with an 8-4 lead. Remember, Stewartville led by as much as 17 against Providence. Olivia Olson, so mobile, so elusive, and so flexible. Lays that one in. Of course, Benilde-St. Margaret's no stranger to our coverage, or no stranger to most of the Metro. Here's a 3. Klement can't put it down this time. Rebound Bishop. Olson. Bounce pass to Wismer. Needed a friendly bounce, but it goes in, and that's what counts. And no, I did not intend to make that rhyme. 8-8 the score, 12:15 to go. That's going to be a foul on Bishop. But that last play does illustrate Olivia Olson's value. It's not just the scoring that she brings, but all the other intangibles, the passing, the rebounds, the hustle plays that aren't always there. Drive, but nothing for Audrey Shindelar. Rebound, Kate Kapsner. Kicks it out to Presley Watkins for three. Airballs it. Hayden. Kickball. Hayden's got it at the wing. High lob and a little too high, but Olson was the last to touch it. Benilde-St. Margaret's will take over. No, a timeout was called. It's called by Stewartville with 11:43 to go in the first half. And with this timeout, we'd like to thank the Casson-Matherville Youth Basketball Program for their sponsorship of our events. It's people like you who make our coverage possible. We were hoping to get a few more games out of it, but again, Mother Nature does not care about your feelings or our feelings. So Benilde-St. Margaret's, it's been a topsy-turvy schedule. Again, they haven't lost since Olivia Olson returned, playing against Jordan Chaska and New Prague. I'm sure you'd love to rerun those games with Alexandria and De La Salle, and I have no idea how that's going to get seeded. Alexandria is suffering a loss to Orono. Foul away from the ball on the inbound. Olivia Olson, the cover athlete this year in the Breakdown Sports USA guidebook. Benilde-St. Margaret's with the takeaway. Shot clock did not reset properly. As we said, Benilde-St. Margaret's and Olivia Olson, the cover athlete in the breakdown book this year. I don't know if that means anything for Miss Basketball, but she will get to play at the Nike USA Hoop Summit in April, one of the All-Star events. So she's already got one All-Star event secured. Patterns her game after Maya Moore and LeBron James. Also won a state title back in the fall with girls soccer. The starting goalkeeper, and Josie Najee wants that pass back, I presume. Had the kick-out option, but unfortunately nobody was there. And Stewartville, they also got a feature in the breakdown book. They were one of the teams that got the capsule in 3A with that incredible run to the championship round. This is Audrey Shindelar. Just over 11 minutes left in the first half. Hayden. To Klement. Shindelar. Tries to go inside. It was tipped by Benilde-St. Margaret's, but they couldn't hang on to it. Stewartville, if you recall, had to fight off an 11-point deficit against Becker in the Class AAA state semifinal to pull off the upset. And Becker coach Dan Baird said they didn't play like first-timers, they played like veterans. 10:53 left. Following it up, that's always a challenge. It's not just about X's and O's, there's a lot of other factors at play. Taylor Klement, considered one of the emotional leaders of the team. Tanner Teige, in his first year at Stewartville, he took over from Lion Liffrig. But again, I think that Providence Academy game went a long way. And Teige was involved with sports, a three-sport athlete at Big Lake. Played wide receiver at St. Cloud State. Now works as a health phy-ed teacher at Stewartville. So after a long pause, 9 to shoot, we're back to action and traveling calls. So after all that, Benilde-St. Margaret's will take over on the turnover. Rath over to, or that's not Rath, that's Watkins. I'm getting my numbers crossed. Sydney Fridley got some minutes last year as an 8th grader. Wismer lost control of it, and that will be a lost ball for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Benilde-St. Margaret's, plenty of history in the sport, 3 state titles, 2006, 2010, and 2023. With a few other appearances to boot. They had some lean years, even the first couple of years with Olivia Olson. It wasn't until last year, well, 2 years ago, when things really started coming together for this team. And then they went to the next level after Ellison took over. Stewartville trying to beat the shot clock after a loose ball scenario. Shindelar draws the foul. And let's see who it's on. It's on Fridley, that's her first. Stewartville and Olmsted County. Population 6,600. If you followed me on NSPN last week, we highlighted some fast facts about Stewartville, but if you're new on the TSP side, here you are. Stewartville, they played some Metro teams, jump ball, Tigers with the arrow. They took part in the Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off. We weren't able to see them then just because of scheduling. Olson deflects that one away. That was the same event where Olivia Olson broke her hand in that Benilde-St. Margaret's Providence Academy game. But that Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off, one of my favorite kickoff events. The problem is there's so many good teams and just one me. 6 to shoot for Stewartville. This is Shindelar on the turnaround. Bishop gets the rebound. Used up the dribble. Gets out of it with Olson. Back to Bishop. Thought about it. Fakes the 3. Kate Kapsner with her first field goal, and after we were stuck at 8-8 seemingly forever, Kapsner breaks that tie and has a chance for 3. Kate Kapsner enjoys baking. She's a 6-foot junior. Chipped in a few points here and there. Officially, she's averaging 9.4, so I say a few points. 9.4 might be more than a few, but one of those role players. Again, it's not always about the star players. Ridley with the steal. Olson takes a fall. I think she wanted the foul. Stewartville pulls up from 14. Audrey Shindelar can't put it in. Benilde-St. Margaret's takes over again. Now we go the other way. A little hot potato action. In a low-scoring game so far. Olson with the poke and the strip. Flings it to Fridley, a little out of control, and not much there. Kick out. It's Hayden for 3. Long, rebound Olson. Olson had close to a double-double. I think he was a rebound or 2 away in her first game back from Jordan. You see the tape that's on her left hand as it's still healing from surgery, but if you were with us for that Jordan Benilde-St. Margaret's game, she's back. Presley Watkins, 3-ball, short. Hayden gets the rebound. Hayden, whoa! That is how you work your way through a tight spot. Watkins will try again from 3-point range. Comes up long again. Minnick with the rebound, Kylie Minnick. Stewartville throws it away. They wanted Addison Ruffridge and couldn't find her. Stewartville, no stranger to this facility, being in the same conference as Cass and Manorville in the Hiawatha Valley. Olson out at the elbow, finds Watkins, pulls up, having a tough time getting her shot to fall. Rebound secured by Ruffridge, but she throws it away. Fridley, not there. Olson will shoot 2. Olivia Olson, the cover athlete of the breakdown. What that means for Miss Basketball, that I can't tell you, because I suspect she and Liv McGill will be in a tight battle for those honors. But I can tell you, she is considered one of the best closers, and she idolizes Maya Moore and LeBron James because of what they did in the case of Maya and what LeBron James is still doing 20 years in, 20 plus years in. But they did a little of everything, and having covered the Lynx as long as I did, I can concur. I can also concur that Stewartville picked up a big energy play out of Taylor Klement, the Hamlin basketball commit, averaging 13 points per game. She completes the 3-point play, and that gives Stewartville a 13-12 lead. Watkins to Olson. Oh my goodness, Olivia Olson. The way she carried herself on that play, in pristine form, you can tell she's been doing this kind of stuff for years. And that is the 3rd foul on Taylor Klement. So she's probably going to have to come out with 6:31 left in the first half. Not a lot of points, but a big development here affecting Stewartville as Olivia Olson completes the 3-point play, bringing her total to 8. Intercepted by Kapsner. It's Watkins with the finish. And Kapsner, again, doing a lot of the dirty work. The rebounds, that steal and dish there, as Benilde-St. Margaret's brings up the press. Stewartville breaks it, and they get the press breaker from Taylor Klement, who's still on the floor, even though she has 3 fouls. I am a little surprised that she hasn't been pulled out already. That's Bishop. Her drive to the rim comes up empty. Kapsner got the rebound, no putback though. And the block up top by Ruffridge. I should say she went up top and stayed square. Klement lost the dribble. Bishop all alone. That's almost automatic, especially for a player of Bishop's caliber. Bishop the junior, and on another team she might be one of the top names, but has done quite well here. Stewartville missing on the drive, rebound, and one. Addison Ruffridge. And that is going to be the second on Olson, so Benilde-St. Margaret's in a little bit of foul trouble here. And we're going to get some changes now. They did get Klement out of there, and they'll try to preserve her for later. Ruffridge cannot complete the three-point play, but just like last week with Providence Academy, the crowd was a little bigger back then, but Stewartville not going anywhere. Bishop for 3. Can't get it to fall. Rath. Over to Catherine Jones and Catherine Watt. .457 left in the first half, 19-17 to score. And if you're watching this on the TSB Television YouTube channel, we'll be back with you on Monday when we bring you all 5 games of the St. Catherine MLK Classic. We should be able to get all of those games in without interruption. No snow in the forecast, but it will be cold. Olivia Olson, she is a cold-blooded playmaker. Cold as ice. 21-17. Olivia Olson with 10, as Benilde-St. Margaret's takes a 4-point lead. Hadeen finds a wide open J.C. Rash. She'll shoot 2. Both teams out of fouls to give at this point. And the foul is on Bishop. That is her second. Rath missing the front end. But Benilde-St. Margaret's in a little bit of a tight spot themselves. J.C. Rath enjoys traveling. She has been to 6 countries already. Olson calling for somebody. Everyone got a little too far ahead, and Olivia's like, wait a minute. I got to pass the ball to somebody. Here's Wismer. Yep. I saw her skid just a little bit. And that was enough to get the traveling call. 21-18. In a game that has been tight. Audrey Shindelar sets herself up for the 3. That's short. Olson. Late foul. And that's going to be her 3rd. Got to be careful. So, Taylor Klement with 3 fouls, Olivia Olson with 3 fouls, and this is going to really change the complexion of this first half. Tim Ellefson not too pleased. Olson's got to check out. And she is a little surprised, to say the least. Again, the foul came a tad late, so I can understand her feeling on the situation. But Kylie Minnick misses the front end, so it's an empty possession anyway for Stewartville. But now, Benilde-St. Margaret's, they've got to play without Olson for a little while. 10-second call. Benilde-St. Margaret's not aware of the clock. A couple of the coaches were asking the coach, wait a minute, we didn't secure it right away, but I don't think they start the shot clock until a team does have possession, if I remember the rules correctly. So while we haven't had a lot of scoring plays, we are certainly getting a lot of emotional developments here. And some big ones regarding the foul tally. Taylor Klement has 3 fouls. Olivia Olson has 3 fouls. 2 of your primary playmakers for these respective teams are going to see some limited minutes here. Haydeen lost it. That's Josie Najee, the younger sister of Maya. Kate Kapsner shuffled her feet before the dribble. This is a bizarre turn of events. I mean bizarre. But every game is different, and remember, these are 2 high-caliber teams. Shindelar. Stewartville saves it. They've got 8 to shoot. Audrey Shindelar out to Rath. Straddling the baseline. And scores through contact. First field goal for Rath. Here comes Watkins. And now Watkins hit with the foul. That's her second. Stewartville will go to the line for 1-1. And this will be Audrey Shindelar taking the trip. Audrey Shindelar misses the front end. Another empty possession for Stewartville. 21-20. Najee working away inside from the high post. Up and in. Josie hasn't had the numbers that Maya put up as a high school athlete, but no less valuable. 3 on the way. It's short from Haydeen. And now Najee bumped from behind. And she took a hard hit. Benilde-St. Margaret's in the bonus. That's just the first on Minnick, but I think it's safe to say these 2 have carried a few memories from that match a year ago. A game that Benilde-St. Margaret's emerged from with the win. If you recall last year's meeting, Benilde-St. Margaret's held on for a 66-60 victory. Olson had 19 points, 17 rebounds in that game, but it was Sierra Lumpkin, the star of the show. It's a split for Najee. And more free throws are coming. We had a parade of free throws at the end of our last game, and we're getting another parade of them here as Bishop is tagged for her 3rd foul, and this is a precarious situation for Tim Ellison to find himself in, and this is where you wouldn't mind having Kendall McGee to add an extra layer to that rotation of Benilde-St. Margaret. So she's got to check out. Right now, Stewartville having all sorts of trouble hitting their free throws. They blank. Minnick was able to track down her own miss after the rebound was tipped away. But Stewartville 2 of 8. Jump ball. Benilde-St. Margaret's at the arrow. I say this a lot. Free throws add up. One way or the other. Stewartville 2 of 8 already. You're looking at a 4-point game and a lot of missed opportunities. Josie Najee going for the 3. Bounces out. Kapsner with the rebound. Can't get the finish. Najee is there. Clutches. Scores. Count it. Josie Najee averaging just 5.6 points per game, but Benilde-St. Margaret's, they'll take this right now. As they have to forge without Olson and Bishop for the remainder of this half. They both have 3 fouls. Shindelar steps into the 3 and buries it. Just the second 3-pointer for Shindelar, but it's a well-needed one. Watkins missed the runner. It's Kapsner with the O-board. Now she'll fire the 3 and connects. Najee with the dime. And that was initially set up by the O-board from Kapsner. Kate, the X factor for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Shindelar out of the high post finds an open Minnick. Didn't secure it cleanly enough to take a 3-point try. Stewartville can't hold for the last shot. Shindelar goes for the floater. Kate Kapsner, another rebound. Really making her mark in this one. Fridley missed the corner 3. Stewartville is time. 5 seconds. Audrey Shindelar, the runner, is there. And that brings the first half to an end. One filled with major developments. And in this tight battle, no one is led by more than 7. It's Benilde-St. Margaret's with a 30-25 lead over Stewartville in the rematch of last year's Class 3A state championship. A big win is at stake for these two. It's not just pride, but also key section and state tournament positioning. We'll be back after a short break. This is the Casa Manorville Girls Basketball Showcase at Home Federal Arena. Benilde-St. Margaret's leads Stewartville by 5.
This TSB television broadcast was made possible in part by the Casa Manorville Youth Basketball Association.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Second half about to start at Home Federal Arena in Casa Manorville. Benilde-St. Margaret's and Stewartville locked in a tight one. 30-25 the score. First half numbers go something like this. Olivia Olson leads with 10 points, but she and Zahara Bishop both have 3 fouls. Kate Kapsner has 6 and Josie Najee has 6. Kapsner has really been an X factor for the Red Knights. And for Stewartville, Audrey Shindelar and Taylor Klement have 8 points each, but Taylor Klement also has 3 fouls. So managing the foul tally, that is going to be paramount for this game. And remember, this is a 3A tilt. So a win here does you a world of good when it comes time to see the sections and potentially the state tournament, because head-to-head records do come into consideration. Again, these two met last year. Benilde-St. Margaret's won a squeaker 66-60. Olivia Olson had that double-double. And then a big performance from Sierra Lumpkin, who's now at LMU. But this was the highlight game when these two put their schedules together, when everyone put the invitational schedules together. And I think it's a fun olive branch as well to include one of the Metro teams in this Southern Minnesota Showcase. And Benilde-St. Margaret's, they've scheduled tough over the last couple of years. They get the takeaway and the transition finish for Sydney Fridley. That is her first bucket. It's 32-25, Benilde-St. Margaret's over Stewartville. Hadeen. Missed the take. Olivia Olson. Remember, she's got 3. Tries to slither her way through. Now it's Watkins with the 3 ball. Off the back iron. Klement. Over to Hadeen. Klement. Olson with the rebound. Steps into the 3. And Olson well on her way to another double-double. Goes for the steal. That leaves Rath open for 3, and it's long. And again, with Bishop, Olson, and Klement all at 3 fouls, I'm really curious to see how they'll play the second half, how aggressive they'll be. Olivia Olson missing another 3. She can knock them down. It was a 3-pointer that got her to 2,000. Ooh, go for the reach in there. Stewartville fans wanted a foul, but Audrey Shindelar says, no worries, I'll just hit the step-back 3 from the key. And it's 32-28. Olson pulls up. Having a rough go in the second half. Tanner Tigey telling his Stewartville team go. Audrey Shindelar can't make it 2 in a row. Klement with the rebound and the putback. $15-footer for Watkins. Goes through. Klement. Shindelar's got it. Here's a 3 for Hadeen. That goes off the back iron. Hadeen hasn't found her 3-point stroke, but it will be Stewartville ball as it was touched last by Benilde-St. Margaret's. 15-13 left in the second half. Shindelar. Going underneath. A little too far underneath. Bishop got bumped. That foul will go against Jones. That's just her second. Olson fakes, attacks. She'll shoot 2. Olivia Olson, since her return, remember the first game, she got injured early. So in her first 3 full games, she has put up 30, 21, and 24. The first woman at Benilde-St. Margaret's to reach 2,000 points. A remarkable figure for a school that has produced many talented athletes. Kasheen Alexander, an architect of that 2006 state championship. Azaria Jackson-Sherrod went D3 but now works as an official. Stewartville turns it over. And Azaria's had a chance to work some Benilde-St. Margaret's games, of course. She doesn't have control over where she's assigned, but it was a cool moment for her. 35-30 the score after the split from Olson. Bishop got bumped. And it will be a traveling call. Shindelar. To Rath. (14-14). Stewartville team that played Providence all the way to the end. They overthrow the inbound pass right to the coach, and Stewartville with another turnover. They've had some issues with ball security in the second half. Watkins to Bishop. On the take. Stewartville comes up with the rock. It's Adine on Watkins. Can't get the roll. And a rough start in the second half. Bishop will try the three. That misses everything. Watkins to Olson. Can't get around Rath. But a foul is called on Jones as she made contact with Sydney Fridley while pursuing the loose ball. So Stewartville gets the stop, but Benilde-St. Margaret's gets a chance to reset here. Kapsner off the inbound, swish. Kapsner with 8. Big lane up the middle. Taylor Klement says, thank you very much. She's got 12. Not a ton of flow with this game. It's been stop and start. There have been a few nice plays, but let's see if we can get a few more in there. There's one. Fridley to a cutting Bishop. And Zahara, who has seen her share of struggles in the first half and early in the second, gets one to fall. She's got 6. The southpaw, Haydeen, still looking for that three-point stroke. She has yet to hit a three-pointer. Outlet pass tipped and intercepted by Rath. Klement. Over to Haydeen. Now Audrey Shindelar's got it. Shindelar. Couldn't get the finish. Kate Kapsner got in there at the last moment. I don't know if that altered the trajectory, but it very well could have. Watkins, spin move. Drifted it to the left. Adine fakes. Klement, her three blocked by Olson. Rath picks it up, but not for long. Watkins, Fridley, and the finish. Fridley with just her second field goal, but Benilde-St. Margaret's with their largest lead of the game, 41-32, 9-point lead. Once again, we'd like to thank the Cassamattaville Youth Basketball Association for their sponsorship of our, what has been abbreviated coverage. Hopefully next year we'll be able to do it properly and get every game in. But We talked about the meet-up last year between Benilde-St. Margaret's and Stewartville. It was a close one. Benilde-St. Margaret's had the edge and were able to hang on to it, but Stewartville stayed with them through the end. Dean had a great game in that match, 17 points. Haley Strum, one of the graduates now from Stewartville, struggled a little bit, finished with 12. But again, the story was Sierra Lumpkin, 5 of 6 from three-point range, 21 overall. Olivia Olson, 19 points, 17 rebounds, struggled from the floor, but hit 11 of 15 from the free throw line. And Benilde-St. Margaret's got the state tournament championship that wasn't a certainty after losing Kendall McGee in the semifinals, but they got it done. And Olivia Olson, much like Paige Beckers and some other top athletes in girls basketball, got that long-awaited championship. Some folks like to come at you with the lack of titles. I don't know why. I mean, I get it, but there's a lot more to it than how many titles you win. But always nice to get that first one. And Taylor Klement with a nice drive around Olson. Again, because those two have 3 fouls, watching them guard each other is quite intriguing, because it really is a test of wits. Naji, that's the second time she's thrown an errant pass. That time on a high-low, nobody was there, and then she tried to kick out when no one was there. Big chance for Stewartville if they can convert here. Shindelar, that's tough. A contested fadeaway. Olson, make sure that rebound isn't going anywhere. Hands it off to Watkins for 3. Bullseye! Like we said, it's not just the points for Olivia Olson. It's all the other things that were missing from the repertoire of Benilde-St. Margaret's. Olson trying to time it. Recovers. Goes for the reverse. Count it! Wubba, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. Olivia Olson is a certain kind of magic. That's why she's going to Michigan. And that's why she is one of the top recruits in the 2024 class as she completes the three-point play. Number 15 by ESPNW, coincidentally, one spot below her, Liv McGill. Those two have been the headliners all throughout their careers in the 2024 class. Here's Dean. Not enough. Largest lead of the game for Benilde-St. Margaret's. They can add to it here. Olson, the 14-foot pull-up is there. Olson with 16. You can keep Olivia down, but she'll find a way to get herself involved. Klement for 3. Bullseye. That was Rath, I should say. J.C. Rath. I take that back, although I'm sure Klement won't mind the shout-out. That was J.C. Rath, who hit her first three-pointer of the game, 49-37, but Stewartville, they've got their work cut out for them with 9:15 left in the second half. And Olson and Bishop as well, to their credit, have avoided picking up that fourth foul, at least in the early stages. 49-37. And for Benilde-St. Margaret's, we'll have to see how the averages play out once they get more games in with Olivia, because Olivia is averaging 20.2, again with a few full games under her belt. Bishop and Fridley shouldered the load quite well. Bishop, 17.5, had that 33-point performance, and the Benilde-St. Margaret's fans, the ones who braved our frigid temperatures, are getting into a little prince. Well, Olivia Olson has certainly gone crazy, but we already knew how crazy good she was. with 9:15 left in the second half. Benilde-St. Margaret's up by 12. They've got a match with Becker. The Bulldogs, after a slow start, they've picked up some quality wins. Orono, they got that big win over Alexandria. And Benilde-St. Margaret's, they will go to St. Michael d'Albertville. It's a team without Jaquila Kraft for the time being, but that will be part of the community clash. I have a feeling I might end up at that game. Conference-wise, Benilde-St. Margaret's, I think the Orono series is going to be worth following. Red Knights turned it over. That's Rath again. I keep getting those two. I want to say Klement, but Klement is 10, Rath is 13. I'm going to need a visual chart or play some sort of memory concentration style game. That'll take care of it. But it was an empty possession for the Tigers of Stewartville. Olson got fouled as Najee tried to thread the needle to her. Stewartville has a couple to give, and Benilde-St. Margaret's has yet to commit a foul in this second half. You talk about buckling down and persevering and adjusting. That's pretty good. Olson for three. Swish! This may be the breakaway run. We almost had a couple of those in our early games. Audrey Shindelar goes for 15. Can't get the bounce. Rebound is tipped to Benilde-St. Margaret's. Olson blocked from behind. But I'd say her second half going much better than her first. Nonetheless, Stewartville, they got to get some points here. Trailing by 15. And a foul on Benilde-St. Margaret's. That's just the first of the half. And it's the first for Josie Najee. Red Knights zoning up. Perhaps aware that Stewartville hasn't hit their threes consistently, and they're having a hard time finishing down low as well. Patrolling the interior, patrolling defensively, smoothly. Speaking of smooth, that was a smooth stroke for Presley Watkins, who goes up to 10 with that three. And it looks like Benilde-St. Margaret's is going to pull away. Deep three for Stewartville. Audrey Shindelar buries it. That's her fourth triple, but is there enough time for Stewartville? With 6:48 to go. Olson, driving kick. Bishop for three. Got it. Stewartville with the answer. Rath's three a little long. Olson steals the ball after Stewartville collected it. She was a little too hard herself, though, on the subsequent drive. Shindelar tried to shoot over Najee. That didn't work out. Bishop pulls up from 16. That's off the heel. Moves and counter moves. But Benilde-St. Margaret still leads big, 58-40, under 6 to play. Stewartville can't get the high-low pass in play. And we'll have some substitutions here. 5:52 left in the second half. Earlier, I mentioned how Liv McGill and Olivia Olson have been neck and neck with each other. Olivia Olson checking out for the moment. Let's see if she comes back in. Fredley out to Kapsner. Kate had a good first half. Bishop out to Kapsner. Fridley to Najee. That was poked away. I'll finish up that conversation in a moment. What a many that I have with myself. J.C. Rath, another short-range brick for Stewartville. This is not the team we saw with Providence, not quite as polished. Again, they gave Providence Academy almost everything they had. 4:59 left. But I was going to say, with Olivia Olson on the bench, she and Liv McGill, they function a little differently. Olivia is that do-it-all kind of player. Liv McGill functions more as a point guard, but a terrific one at that. They both have a state championship to their credit. They both have milestones. That's a foul on Bishop, her fourth. Benilde-St. Margaret's with plenty to give, and Olson will check back in one more time. But Stewartville hasn't really gone on a run to threaten. Benilde-St. Margaret's here. As far as who wins Miss Basketball, I have a couple of contacts who are part of that committee, and they tell me it's a career award. And I don't ask. That's a traveling violation on Stewartville. I don't ask who the front runner is. That's not my style. You know me. I don't rank teams. I don't rank players. I'm not worried about who the best player in the state is. What do we have here? A technical foul. And so Olson's going to go to the line. That technical foul has been assessed to J.C. Rath, and I couldn't hear much from up here. So Olson will shoot two more. And Rath will have to check out. Just a frustrating half for Stewartville. A team that nearly pulled off an upset over Providence Academy last week and running into the struggle bus in the second half against Benilde-St. Margaret's. Just 10 points in the frame. But to finish up on Olson and McGill and who will win Miss Basketball, I wish I could tell you. Some years, the front runner's pretty clear. Other years, it's a true toss-up, and I have a feeling it's going to be between McGill and Olson because they're two decorated players, and they both have left indelible impacts for their respective schools. Olson with the encore, and Benilde-St. Margaret's taking command of this second half. Olivia Olson has secured her fourth straight 20-point game since her return, and if she hadn't missed 7 games with that broken hand, who knows how many milestones she would have reached. But she has amassed plenty of distinguished achievements at Benilde-St. Margaret's. And what a terrific career she has had. Olson, how about an encore three? Well, you got to save something for the next game, right? And looking ahead for Benilde-St. Margaret's, they have some winnable games. I think St. Michael Albertville, even without Jacayla Kraft, will be their next biggest test. But there is a reason they stayed in the top 5, even with all those losses, as we've got a foul on Wismer. Again, I wish I could tell you who would win Miss Basketball between Olivia Olson and Liv McGill. Whoever comes out on top, I'll say this much, they won't get an argument from me. They will have earned it. Dean at the line, not her greatest game, but it happens to everybody. Sometimes you just don't get those threes to drop, and Olivia Olson will check out and get that curtain call. Missed a few of these invitationals, including the Tip-Off Classic, because of the injury, and who knows how that game with Hopkins would have turned out had they been able to play. This is the peaks and flows. Wait a minute. Someone had to go get it for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Three ball. They were pulling for number 11, Bella Stevenson-Shimmick, who saw a little bit of time when Olson and McGee were out. Here's a three from Klement. That's off the heel. And Grant McGinnis and I had this conversation, which speaks to our approach, our philosophy when it comes to covering these athletes as writers, broadcasters, you name it. We try not to go too hard on these kids because everyone has bad games. And for Stewartville, just not enough came together today. But this is why they play these games, as we have another three for Benilde-St. Margaret's. This one short. That came from Bella Yakub. Yes, they're enticing games. The rematch provided a lot of intrigue. And for the first half, it was close. It didn't pan out that way in the second half, but if Stewartville hits a few more threes, maybe a different story. And likewise, they haven't had a lot of success down low, just not a lot of success, period. But that could change the next time Stewartville plays. And remember, they're in the Hiawatha Valley Conference, so they're going to get at least two more quality conference games on the slate. As Audrey Shindelar goes to the line. Audrey had a solid game, but not a lot of support around it. Stewartville gets Goodhue and Byron one more time. They also will play St. Peter. St. Peter getting that 1-point win over Matamidi today. But St. Peter in the top 10. They played Byron close the first time. Played well with Alexandria. Stewartville, they've been right there. This is really the first tough game they've faced against a high-level opponent. But that prepares you, even if you don't get the win. Bishop, with 9 points, she'll add a couple more here. Bishop, when she's not playing basketball, likes nature and journaling. And I'll tell you what, nature is a great place to journal. I did that once or twice. Just got to make sure you bring the sunscreen if it's sunny. 2.5 to play as we're in stat padding time here. Again, just not enough fluidity out of Stewartville's offense. Audrey Shindelar drains her 5th three-pointer. Stewartville needed a little more of that today. Didn't get enough from the perimeter. But that can change. Bishop, she wants a three. Swish. And Bishop up to 14 points. Benilde-St. Margaret's comes up with the block. They'll pick up a quality win. Another one to add to the resume. And Benilde-St. Margaret's, they're going to be a tough team to seed, I think, when you get to the state tournament round. Section-wise, you know, they beat Holy Angels without Olson and McGee. They don't have Delano on the schedule. Delano, I think, is the biggest question mark out in Section 6-3A. But if Benilde-St. Margaret's gets out of that group and into state, De La Salle should get through their section, and Alexandria should get out of Section 8. That's the last foul to give for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Alexandria and De La Salle, they both beat Benilde-St. Margaret's, but that was without Olson and McGee. And since the coaches seed the sections in state, how are they going to take that into account? Well, we're going to take a Bishop steal and dish to Wismer into account. And Stewartville will take a timeout, 1:39 to go. Academic at this point.
When the high school season is over, TSB Television goes on the highlight trail. Our highlight reels provide you with a valuable resource for recruiters and a keepsake of your favorite athlete. To learn more about our highlight reel services, contact us at tsbtelevision@gmail.com.
And again, this Benilde-St. Margaret's team, I think one reason why they will be a tough ticket, even without Kendall McGee, they have enough of those role players, the folks who may not always get the headlines. And they got a lot of experience in the month of December having to navigate without Olson. Olivia was telling me the reintegration process in that Jordan game, how it took them a little while to rediscover their cadence, their rhythm. And once they did, as we saw in that game with Jordan, they did a pretty good job. Good enough to get the big win and to get Olivia Olson 2,000 points. For Stewartville, we've gotten to see them a couple of times, once on the NSPN side, once here, and I think there's still a lot more to be unpacked. They're not quite as ferocious as last year, but the potential, the makings of another surprise run are still there as Bella Stevenson-Shimmick scoops up the loose ball and lays it in. That gets her on the board. All the deep players are in the game now for both teams. This is Nevaeh Mayer out of Stewartville. Other players out there include Isabella Schwichtenberg, Ella Steer, Kayla Byrne, and Delaney Sanford. If I'm Stewartville, if you go back and watch this tape, if anyone pays attention to my words, I'd say, you had a bad half. It happens to the best of us. Just got to shake it off, try again. Whoops. Above all else, don't get too discouraged because every team is going to have that rut where they can't seem to hit the broadside of a barn. It's how you push through that. We know Stewartville, they've got lots of three-point shooters in their roster. They used it to full effect against Providence Academy last weekend. I think Stewartville should feel confident. It's not easy to follow up another year, especially with all the retooling. A new coach, a few changes because of graduation. They brought back a lot of pieces, but now you've got to push forward. And what that might look like, we shall see. And then for Benilde-St. Margaret's, they've got a couple more non-conference tests. We mentioned St. Michael Albertville, Becker. That will be a Saturday afternoon game. The meeting last year we thought would be a state championship preview. Didn't turn out that way because of Stewartville. This year, it's going to be a tough section again with Totino Grace, Ridley, if they can get Brandy Washington back. She's missed the last few games. Who knows? There are a lot of uncertainties. And that's what makes this season quite fun, more so than past years. In 4A, it was always, can you get through Hopkins? 3A, a little more up for grabs this year, and there's not even a certainty in 2A that we thought there would be. Bella Stevenson-Shimmick almost taps in the putback, so she'll go up to 4. And that will be it. 74-48 the final. Benilde-St. Margaret's pulls away in the second half, holding Stewartville to 18 points, and they pick up their 4th straight win. Again, they have not lost since Olivia Olson has returned from her hand injury. We'll see if we can get a word with Olivia and perhaps another player or two before we wrap it up here from Home Federal Arena in Kasson-Mantorville. Benilde-St. Margaret's beats Stewartville 74-48.
Joining me are Olivia Olson and Zahara Bishop, two familiar names if you've been watching our coverage this season. And Olivia, we'll start with you. You and Zahara actually both had to manage the foul situation. You both got 3 in the first half, but in the second half you stayed out of trouble and made another impact like you customarily do. What adjustments do you make to make sure you play smart enough to avoid picking up any fouls that could put you in a bind?
I think we just have to play more straight up on defense, and that's kind of what we talked about at halftime, and not going down into the person when they're shooting, and just kind of being smart with your fouls and your chances that we're taking, and that's what we did.
In that second half, you had some wondrous plays to help Benilde-St. Margaret's pull away. What did you notice as far as the vibe, the mood? It was a tight game in the first half, and how did you change that to get that runaway win in the second?
I feel like everyone at halftime just kind of came together, and we were just like, we got to come together, play as a team, and make good plays, and we needed to up the intensity, and I think we did in the second half.
You've had 4 straight games of 20 or more since your return. Coincidentally, Benilde-St. Margaret's has won all of those games. Would you say everyone is not back to 100%, but after getting back in the lineup, I know you talked to me about everyone kind of getting reacclimated to it. How would you say that process is going now?
I think it's good. Everyone's kind of still learning our roles and stuff, and how much we can do as a team, and I think different players are stepping up at different times, and it's not always scoring. I mean, Sid's making good passes, he's always making good passes and drives and good threes, and so I think everyone's kind of stepping up at different times through the game. Like when we were in foul trouble, other people were stepping up and playing, and I think that was a big role for us.
Not to mention Kate Kapsner. I felt she was the glue player in the first half, and I've said this a lot. I know you get a lot of the headlines, but it's not just you, it's everybody, and Zahara, one of those players. Likewise, you had to work through foul trouble as well, and you managed to avoid it. What would you say were your keys in the second half to make sure you stayed out there?
Like what Liv said, just staying up and putting your hands up like a wall, and just being careful on their driving so you just don't hit the person. And I would say help side defense was a big part, because I would help side and draw the foul by using my body, so I would just switch it up with just staying still more. You've
had a chance to play a few games without Olivia and Kendall. You've had a few games to get reacclimated to Olivia. What have you learned about yourself, and what do you think this team has learned getting 2 different flavors, so to speak, that could help you as you continue the second half of the season?
Before Olivia, we were having trouble rebounding and passing, and I think while Olivia was out, we just needed to work on that more than just scoring. And then while Olivia came back, she helped us big on rebounding and passing and scoring as well, so that doubled, and we're still going to continue to do that.
4 straight wins now. Where do you see room for growth with this Benilde-St. Margaret's team moving forward?
We have a good games coming up next week, so I think we can go on a winning streak, and hopefully we can beat STMA in next week's game.
A couple of weekends, yes. Zahara, I have to ask you, I understand that you enjoy nature and journaling. Do you have a favorite spot? If you like the two, is there a nature spot you go to journal, or how do the two come together like that?
So I usually just journal in my room at night when I'm about to go to sleep. But then for nature, I'll probably just go on walks around my block in the neighborhood, or find me a park where I could run around a lake.
Do you have a favorite park or a lake you like to go to, or are you still looking for one?
The number one I have right now is Lake Nokomis in Richfield.
Well, there's a lot of lakes to choose from, and Nokomis, I'd say, is a pretty good one. I don't know if you do any journaling, Liv. I know we've talked a little bit about your background, but what are some things you like to do to unwind? Because you've had quite the season with soccer, basketball, and everything.
I like to make crafts, so that's what I like to do in my free time.
Crafts. And any specialties out there? Are we going to see you put some designs perhaps for state fair consideration?
Probably not, but I like to make T-shirts and heat press prints onto them. So.
Well, you could sell those at the fair or wherever else. So T-shirts, all right. So if for anyone out there who needs some swag, Olivia Olson, she's your woman. She could do more than score 2,000 points. She can make you 2,000 T-shirts too. I'm kidding. Maybe not that much. Not yet. Well, before we go, you want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Dad and Mom and brother.
Well, hello, everyone, and hello to any potential T-shirt purchasers, I guess. If you want something from Olivia Olson, she's got you covered. But seriously, thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the win. Have a safe trip back, and we'll see how long this streak can continue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Olivia Olson and Zahara Bishop, that wraps up our coverage here from Home Federal Arena. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Beaton. Thank you for watching.